10th of January to 11th January. MVNDICRAFT, a server based on medieval times, released on Minecraft. And also yesterday, the first conflict occurred on the server. Yes, you heard me right. Not even a day after its release, there was an armed conflict. But before we get to that, I would like to thank Buck'em Down, Fitness Morse, Sauce Trooper, and I don't know how to pronounce that, for giving me information and images about the conflict, since I was not present there at the time. The first armed conflict on MVNDICRAFT occurred between the Cypriot raiders and the Swabian defenders. But before we get into details of battle, we should look at why it happened in the first place. The causes are unknown, but a Discord user by the name of Arcane claims that he convinced Cypriots to raid Swabians. However, the truthfulness of this claim can be disputed. First, the Cypriots built a base of operations near Swabia and prepared for our raid. However, they were noticed by the Swabians, who then prepared for the battle. Many people from both sides took part in the fighting. Rank of Cypriots included people such as Q-Riced, Eco-Fascist, Fluffy Cop, Google C, Big Large Load, and Moroccan King. While the Swabian side consisted of the following players: Mac33, Neogen Sokio, Zero Gorky, Buck'em Down, Antarhis, Numreed, Hood Clips, Blood Best Miles, Jamie Nutrient, Limbrig, A Spooky Name, VX Percher, and Rasmus, and much more. However, it is important to point out that many from the Swabian side took part in the fighting at different times, and even less participated in the main battle. In the beginning, both sides had decent gear and started engaging each other in combat, which was going back and forth. But as they died and as they lost more gear, the combat quickly devolved into an unarmored stone axe melee. However, Swabians had saved most of their gear, so Cypriot losses were much more significant. The fighting went on, but slowly the tide turned against the Cypriots, who were then forced back into their fort. However, the fort would not hold for much, as the Swabians utilized creepers to blow holes into the walls, and they breached the fort's defenses. After a short skirmish, the Cypriots were forced out and they returned to Cyprus. However, as the Swabians went through the supply chest, they found them completely empty. It is speculated that at this point, the Cypriots either burnt their supplies, so Swabians would not get them, or they took it with them, back to Cyprus. But in the end, the Cypriot raid was defeated, their base of operations was overran, and they returned to Cyprus. There is no way to determine how much gear was lost. According to the Swabian side, the Swabian losses were insignificant, while the Cypriots lost much more of their gear. However, the Cypriot side claims otherwise. What is for sure though is that both factions' powers were in the negatives after the battle. But however, Cypriot's power was more in the negative than the Swabian. That was the history of the first armed conflict on MVNDICRAFT.